and give us an opportunity to display what we have done in the field of energy efficiency. So today afternoon we have a very special topic to share with you, which is BEAAS, right? So we have all heard about these new terms that are being coming up in the industry, right? We have SAS, we have PAS, we have IAAS, and now we have something which is called BEAAS, right? So this is something which Siemens has introduced, and this is what we're going to talk about. It has to do a little bit about what we are doing in the space of energy efficiency, sustainability in terms of technology, and how we are trying to cover that and round it up with proper financial solutions to give building energy efficiency as a service. So that's the model. We've worked with a lot of Marriott hotels before, and a lot of other customers. We have realized that this is probably the area where together we need to collaborate and see what we can do, right? So once again, thank you so much, all of you, for your time and your attention and giving us this opportunity. I would like to start off with a small video which talks about what Siemens is in today's world. Like we have seen all these new terms coming in, and how Siemens, being a 161-year-old company, is trying to be agile and transforming itself to keep up with the pace of the changing world, right? So we are going to introduce to you something called Smart Infrastructure, which is a new operating company under Siemens, and this video basically talks about that.
And safe. Find opportunities. But our infrastructure and natural resources can't keep up with growing demands. We need fresh ideas. We need to be smarter. We need to care more. It's in our DNA to care, to connect people and opportunity. We're always working to create perfect places and to make energy smarter. Now it's time to take smart to the next level. It's time to create smart infrastructure. We can, because the power of data opens our eyes to the bigger picture and allows better control of electricity for buildings and all kinds of industries. When intelligent energy meets smart buildings, the world around us can adapt and respond intuitively. New opportunities come at the grid edge. Energy consumers become producers. Batteries power electric motors, and buildings and devices become grids. We create new kinds of environments. Sustainable, responsible, for the good of our planet and the people. At home, at work, and everywhere in between. You care, we care. Together, we're creating environments that care.
That's right. So creating environments that care, right? Going forward, I think all of us have to always work towards or approach our jobs in such a way that we have to keep the sustainability and our responsibility aspect and also growing our business aspect, right? So today we'll try to cover both those things, right? And our global markets and our trends are basically pushing us towards growing in that fashion, right? We have to maintain a balance of what we are doing in the world, how we are trying to keep the environment more sustainable, and at the same time not hamper the growth and the targets in our businesses, right? So our solutions and financial and technical solution would remain a balance, right? So we look at the global market trends we've all seen. We can see almost 10 billion would be the population of the world by 2050. And that is a lot of people to manage. Are our infrastructure and our buildings ready to accept or meet that kind of a challenge head on? We have all these people would be living, maybe 70% of them would be in cities. So are our cities as smart and powerful enough to cater to that kind of a requirement? Once we have those many people, are we going to grow the way we are growing today in our lines of businesses? So these are kind of questions we were asking ourselves while trying to develop this particular company and also this particular portfolio. And of course, all this has to come, whatever we do today has to protect the next generation, right? So whatever decisions we make, like I said, we have a responsibility towards the world, right? when we talk about our responsibility towards the world, we basically talk about creating environments that we care for, right? And Siemens does, like I said, a lot of work in this space. And one of the initiatives that Siemens took is very close to my heart personally, is a CSR initiative that we had taken in Maharashtra. And I would like to show you a small video which basically talks about all the things that we did for them. This is just a small step towards what we are doing. Some of those solutions may be already implemented in your facilities, but for this particular village in Maharashtra, it was a big thing. So please.
They say that to fulfill your dreams, you need to see them first. That is what happened in Amle in 2012. From being a remote idyllic village, it has today become a symbol of what can be achieved through the power of inclusive and sustainable technology and the sheer will to make a difference. Today, the fruits of those efforts are visible not just in Amle, but in 17 villages in the Mukhara block in Palghar.
आले तेव्हा काहीच नव्हतं ह्या गावात. ते इथली परिस्थितीच लय गंभीर होती, त्याच्यामुळे कोणी पोरी पण नसत देत इथं. सिमेस ना आरोहून आले, त्यांनी सांगितलं का बाबा आम्हाला असा असा प्रकल्प इथं राबवायचा आहे. म्हणून आम्ही सगळ्यांनी एक विचार केला का हा प्रकल्प जर आपल्या गावात राबवला तर प्रगती वाढेल आपल्या गावाची. पाणी पिण्यासाठी आम्हाला स्वच्छ नव्हतं, मग त्यांनी तर एक फिल्टर दिला बसवून. आम्ही आता स्वच्छ पाणी पितो, त्याच्यामुळं आजार पण नाही आता जास्त. 4 गर्भ जास्त कच्च पडून गेले. डॉक्टरांकडे जाऊन आम्ही सोनोग्राफी केली. ते उपचार त्यांनी सांगितलं, त्यांनी माझ्या लक्षामध्ये ठेवलं. आता गेले ती तपासा डॉक्टरांकडे, ते सांग आता तुझी गर्भपिशवी साफ आहे, आता तुला काही धोका होणार नाही. आरून आले ते, मग त्यांनी आम्हाला पाईप मोटर वगैरे दिली त्यांनी. मग तिथून आम्ही आता बाहेर गावी नसत जात. आता आम्ही इथंच शेती लावतो ना, इथंच काम करतो. आपल्याला कसं जेवढी ताण लागली आपण जेवढंच पाणी पितो, तसं जेवढं झाडाला पाणी लागतं तेवढंच पाणी पितो. नव्हतं, आम्ही बाहेर घाबरायचो बसायला. 7 वाजले का घरातच राहायचं, जेवायचं ना झोपायचं. आज सिमेस आणि आरहानने हे लाईट दिली, तिथून आता आम्ही लाईटीत स्वयंपाक करतो ना, बाहेर पण बसतो. आरहान आणि सिमेस यांनी आम्हाला शिक्षणाचं महत्त्व कळवून दिला, स्वच्छतेचं महत्त्व कळवून दिला. मुली पहिल्या शिकायला नव्हत्या, ज्याच्या घरी राहायच्या. आता मुली घरी राहत नाही, आता प्रत्येक घरातली मुलगी शिकायला जाती.
When technology is used to bring about social change, to empower those who deserve to dream, that truly is ingenuity.
Isn't that wonderful? I mean, when we do such things which not only, like it adds meaning to our jobs and it adds meaning to what we try to do on our daily lives. I think that's basically what, when we talk about energy and sustainability, that's also what it is, right? I mean, it definitely, adds value in our line of business. It makes us more profitable by cutting down our operational expenses. It makes our machines more, high in performance. But at the same time, there is some way where we are also contributing towards the future, right? So that is also a meaningful part in the end. that particular project is very close to all of our hearts, and we just wanted to share that with you. On the same lines, of course, Siemens on a global level has also committed to being a more sustainable company, right? So Siemens being a Fortune 500 company, 43% of them have committed to energy efficiency and sustainability targets, and we are one of them. You can see all the big names up here. These commitments are long term, so we have committed to being sustainable by 2030. And our target personally at Siemens is to be absolutely, globally, completely carbon neutral by 2030, right? So Germany on a national level has decided to go carbon neutral by 2050, and Siemens, being a German conglomerate, major one of them, has decided to go carbon neutral by 2030, which means that all of our factories across the world, all our offices will be carbon neutral by 2030. And we are doing many energy efficiency projects internally in order to achieve our target. Like you can see, back in 2014, we were able to save 2.2 million tons of CO2, which we brought down by another 20% in 2016, and we are right now on track of achieving more than 50% reduction by 2020. In our own factory in Mumbai, Goa, we have done major energy efficiency projects which are on track of meeting this target. And that is something that this team that we represent are doing. And those solutions that we identify at our factories and our offices are then also taken to the external world, right? And that's what we are going to share with you. The success, the failures, whatever we learn out of them, and then is then brought to the external customers to see what we can do for you guys, right? By the way, in 2017, Siemens also won the most sustainable company in the world. So the parameter for that is our growth as against the consumption per square feet. In 2017, Siemens was the most sustainable company globally. Now, when we were, setting these targets for us, we realized that some of our goals are very much in line with the goals of our customer. For example, I'm sure you will be able to relate with these. I'm sure these goals must have also been discussed in the engineering conference in the last couple of days that you're here. One of them is reduction in total utility expenses, right? We are all given this target. Even at our factories, at your hotels, I've got the opportunity to work with some of them here. Reduction in utility expenses. This is one of our major goals. We also want to enhance our performance of non-core assets. So what do we mean by non-core assets, right? Our buildings, our utilities, our chillers, our AHUs are not necessarily bringing us any business, right? But they are being a huge burden on our bottom line or on our operational expenses. We want to make these non-core assets, which don't really give us profit directly, more profitable or more sustainable or more efficient, so that at the end of the day, the overall business becomes more profitable. How are we going to do that? Green building certifications. I am sure you guys must have heard about PAT, right? Now PAT has come for the hotels as well. Some of the Marriott hotels are also under PAT. So we have to achieve those targets or those certifications the government is setting for us now. Right financial solution. We have some fantastic ideas. I'm sure you might be having some ideas of your own to bring down your energy consumptions. But do we have the right financial solutions? Do they fit the right ROIs? Do we have the budget for it? Can we plan it for this financial year? And finally, reduced carbon emission. Of course, all this leads to our CO2 targets. So these goals were not only relevant for Siemens or Siemens factories, they were all relevant to all our customers, not just hospitality, but pharmaceutical clients, data centers, you name it. And then we saw some of the challenges as well. Even the challenges of ours were all the same, right? I mean, we are looking at demanding sustainability goals, we are looking at high customer expectations. You cannot, cut down on energy expenses at the expense of your customer comfort, right? Or aging infrastructure, for example. What do you do with aging infrastructure? Do we have plans to replace? Can we just throw in chillers out and start buying new chillers out of the blue? Can we do that? Increasing regulatory compliances, we just discussed PAT, and rising operating costs. We cannot control certain parameters. Diesel consumption, diesel tariffs, electricity tariffs are beyond our control. So what do we do? So we were trying to see what we can do internally and externally. So today, these are the things that we are trying to address. I'm sure these are points that must have been addressed in your conference as well. By the way, I saw on some of your shirts, your tagline is fantastic. Just okay is not okay, right? I wanted to put that also as a challenge, right? Or as a goal. And that's fantastic. Just okay is not okay. And that's something that we resonate with completely. So the question here today that we are going to answer is that, is your building ready to face these challenges? And we are going to try to answer them both on the technology point of view and on the financial point of view, which basically comes under the umbrella of building energy efficiency as a service, right? But before we directly talk about our portfolio and our technology, we want to basically do a game, right? We're going to do a quiz, which will give you a little bit of idea as to what our portfolio is going to be about. And in order to initiate that, I would like to call upon my colleague Swapnil. You guys have to now, gear up, liven up, because at the end of this game, there is an award. Can I announce the award?
Please go ahead.
All right. So this game is going to be, this is a quiz. It's an engineering quiz. And the person who gets the maximum correct answers and who stands out wins energy audit for his chiller plants by Siemens for their facilities, right? Come on, I think you got to liven up, right? Let's do that, right? So let's play this game. Swapnil, you want to introduce and talk about what we're going to do?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Swapnil. I am from Building Performance and Sustainability. So to play this game, we will need your mobile phones. I hope you have internet connectivity over here. Does everyone have internet connectivity? Great. So there is a site called as kahoot.it. Can you please visit the site?
www.kahoot.it, guys. We will be on the field. We'll help you out if you guys are facing any challenges. Sorry? PIN, right? So once you're on the site, you guys have to enter your nickname. Before that, you have to enter the PIN. So we've created a game which is an online game, and you guys have to enter that game using that PIN, which is 242821.
It is pretty simple. If you have any queries or questions, just call out. We'll be here. We are here to help you out.
Just go into kahoot.com, www.kahoot.it, kahoot.it. Yeah, that's it, first one. So how many people are here? Approximately around 20, how many? 74. So we need to have 74 names up, right? I can see some familiar names. Ravi sir is already here. By the way, Ravi sir, if you get the answers right, I don't know, because you've already done the project at your place. Yeah. Yeah. Take your time. No, just go back. No need to sign up, guys. Just close this. One second. Should I go back? Just select something. One second. Swapnil.
Yes, Amal.
Can you just help him out? Guys, whoever you are in, Rahul sir, you're in. You can put in some funny nicknames also if you want. NMAD. We have 38 out of 74 players. Where is that? Lovely Singh. That's a lovely name. "41 players.
Anyone needs any help?
Just okay, no, I like that. Once you have logged in, just make sure your name has popped up on the screen, right? Dawn. Who's Dawn? Please. You're Dawn, you lovely sing both. Okay. Are we all in? Are we all in here? And just go to Chrome, www.kahoot.it. Yes, the IT, not com, .it. Kahoot.it. .it. Yes. Enter pin 242821. I think we are looking at 60 players. There are 60 people in the room. We have 54 right now. Or should
anyone facing any issue with the app over the site?
$55.
Are we good to go?
PUBG पुणे, हम लोग इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद एक गेम खेल सकते हैं. PUBG पुणे कौन है? $58. People are coming out now. Chennai.
Great. Can we start?
I think we can start.
Is someone trying to join?
One last person. Help him out. 60. That's excellent.
Great. So the game is pretty simple. You have the question which will pop in front of you on the screen. There will be 4 choices for answer, each associated with a specific color and a symbol. So you will have red and a triangle, or green and a circle. On your mobile screens, you will only see the symbol and the color. So whichever answer you feel is correct, you just have to select that specific color and that symbol. That's it. So I'm just about to start the entire game.
Guys, remember, the correct answer gets energy audit at their facilities. You have to answer quickly, okay? Because there's time. So even though you get the right answer, the guy who gets the answers first. Okay, first question.
What is the best range of IKW per TR for any plant room to be labeled efficient as per ASHRAE standard? Your options are 0.1 to 0.3, 0.6 to 0.8, 1 to 1.2, or none of the above.
Fastest answer gets highest points.
And you have 40 seconds left. So the purple circle with a number shows the amount of time that you have to answer that question. $20 seconds left. Guys, please don't Google the answer and select.
I think we've set a lot of time, but they don't need to Google this. They are all...
60 answers. 7 seconds. Oh, so
all
38
right.
people have answered correctly. 13 are on a very low level.
Ambitious, I would say.
Yeah,
that's
very
excellent.
ambitious.
We would love to work with them, actually. We should connect.
The correct answer is 0.6 to 0.8.
And 38 out of 60 have answered that correctly. Okay?
Great. So moving on to the next question.
You guys got the hang of it, right? Fastest fingers first, right? If you answer quickly, the more points you get. Okay, so first, Tiwari. Who is Tiwari? You were the fastest, followed by Ramana. So the score is, as you can see, Kazi and Somanath are almost, and Karan are almost a tie. So you guys have to really quicken up, right? The rest of them. If Karan has to go up, you have to be faster than Tiwari in order to answer the questions, right? So next question, please.
Which of these events causes your chiller plant to run inefficiently? Continuous full speed operation of most of the plant room equipment, excessive bypass of chilled water flow, chiller not operating at design temperature splits, or all of them? Ten seconds left, gents.
Okay, let's see. 41 of them got it right. Well, the other answers are also not wrong, but all of them.
Not wrong. All the individual lines or all the individual options are correct. But
Yeah? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't want to. So next, yeah, let's see who all got it right and what is the scoreboard. Karan is really ramped up right from number 5 to number 1. Tiwari moved down to number 3. Uma is a new entrant in top 5. But the scores, as you can see, are very close. So let's see what goes on next.
Highest climber is PUBG Pune, who has upped 25 places in this single question.
PUBG Pune will, I'm sure, catch up because it's PUBG means you have to be. Waste heat recovery is an example of dash energy management. Is it demand side energy management, supply side, renewable, or both demand and supply side?
This one is a tricky question.
So waste heat recovery is an example of dash energy management.
This is important.
15 seconds left. I think we have all the answers.
We have all the answers?
61, 62, 63.
Where can you see that?
One answer left.
One answer left. 63 of them have answered. Next. 37 of them got it right. Uma is right on the top. What happened to Tiwari and Karan? Where are they? 14 players just hit answer streak 3, right? So 3 out of 3 right. Next question.
Next question.
What is your most preferred way of investing towards energy efficiency? Is it capex? Is it lease? Is it loan? Or gain share finance?
There's no wrong answer to this, but this will really help us set the tone for the next second
Yeah,
part of
this
the
is something which
presentation.
is for us. But isn't this a very important question, right? Being engineers, we have such brilliant ideas. I think we have all the answers. 61.
64.
Oh, 64, okay.
Looks like one right.
Okay, so we have capex and gain finance. Loan nobody likes. Very few people. And lease.
Also nobody likes. Okay.
Okay,
come to this
next.
point later.
Okay, the scoreboard, all right, pretty much the same. There's no wrong answer. Let's move on. Operations cost split between energy and maintenance.
The first number is cost for energy, and the second percentage is the cost for maintenance. 10 seconds left.
4 more people. Remember, the faster you answer the correct answer, the more points you get. 21 of them got it right. I'm very surprised the top 5 changes drastically. This is a completely new sheet now. Next question, guys.
Energy commodity is expected to rise in 2019 by 5%, 7%, 6% or 8%. So when we are talking about energy commodity, we are talking about the commodity market which has a direct impact on the energy costs within the country. One more or 2 more answers rather.
$25 of them got it right. Excellent.
Nice.
Anoop is still on the top. I like that. That's what. Next question.
Where is the maximum scope for energy efficiency at your facility? Is it chiller plant? Is it HVAC low side? Is it the boiler side or some other equipment or utility?
I'll keep the answer in mind for this one, whoever wins the quiz, because that's where we'll have to go and search for answers, right?
Ten seconds left.
2 more answers to come. That's all. 39 of them think. Anoop is still on. Where is Anoop from? Can Anoop? Okay, next later.
Question 8. As per BEE, what is the standard energy performance index in kWh per square meter for 3-star and above hotels? So this is a very generic EPI index which has been standardized by BEE. I'm sure most of the 5-star hotels or most of your facilities will be on the higher side. But as per standard BEE criteria, what is the EPI? Your answers are 333, 390, 250 and 290. Two more answers, guys.
Oh, very few of them got it right. Excellent. And Anoop is still on the top. Good going. Next question.
Okay. This is Siemens has done energy efficiency program in 2 of Marriott facilities. Can you name them? Courtyard Marriott Mumbai, JW Marriott Mumbai Airport, Western Hyderabad and JW Marriott Resort and Spa Jaipur.
So there are 2 right answers in this. And the question is 2 Marriott facilities. So 2 right answers. You can choose twice. Sixty-three answers have come in. Let's see. Okay, so the right answers were Courtyard Marriott Mumbai and JW Marriott Mumbai Airport. We are also doing Westin, which is underway, which will shortly get commissioned. And yeah, Anoop is still on the top. And what a gap! What was when was PAT scheme was introduced by BW for hotels?
Was it in 2016, 2012, 2018 or 2017?
No, I came today morning. Where is Anup? Can you please identify yourself? You're on a fire right now.
Come from. This is your question paper. I know. Here the question paper. Arup.
नहीं मिला है. (2018)
24 correct answers. 2018.
What's happening? On fire!
Second last question. For aging equipment, if granted an option, would you replace the equipment, optimize the equipment, automate to optimize, or audit for stability? Audit to understand the stability, basically.
Just okay is not okay, right?
All are correct answers. Because it is your facility and you should decide what you have to do. Last question. What is a major administrative hurdle or for any optimization project for you? Is it funding? Is it the technical feasibility? Is it complex approval hierarchies, or is it existing references?
Yeah.
3 more answers.
Funding. So I'm so happy we have a solution for that. So.
Great.
Okay, so podium.
So,
Big round of applause for Mr. Anup. Can you please, I would request Mr. Anup to please come up on stage.
Mr. Anup, can you please come here? We will formally
Shake on
close
it.
the deal that we will complete the audit at your facility.
Mr. Anup, and congratulations Mr. Ajay as well. Great. Mr. Anup, you are from, if you could just introduce. Sorry?
MHRS Jaipur.
Jaipur. Great, great. Congratulations. So we will definitely connect for the, yes, energy audit. So we'll go back. Yeah.
So thank you very much. I hope this activity was fun for every one of you. We will move ahead and continue with our portfolio. Amal?
Yes.
Over to you.
Great. So guys, thank you so much for a wonderful participation. A big round of applause for you guys. Some excellent answers. And we also got to know exactly how your challenges are, how would you approach a problem. And I'm so glad that we have the right content for you. So this was basically also to set the tone for what our portfolio is going to be about, right? So let's dive into the portfolio and see what we can do for you. Our energy portfolio can be divided into 4 segments, I would say, which can be then broadly divided into 3. So first option would be to reduce the energy consumption, right? When we look at reducing the energy consumption of your utilities, it could be trying to do some kind of automation on your chiller plant, or doing some sort of a retrofit program or retro commissioning program. Whatever is consuming today some kind of electricity or diesel or water, how can we reduce that? So that's option number 1, and that's portfolio diversion number 1. Second would be produce. So Siemens can also work closely with you in order to co-create solutions where we just don't have to reduce the energy consumption from the existing assets, but we will try to produce energy as well in terms of, let's say, waste heat recovery, or going for some kind of a solar option, or maybe work on the contract demand side or something on that front, right? We can see how we can produce electricity, or maybe do some kind of recovery in terms of water as well, which is being wasted. Also, we can procure. So when we have also done projects in the past where we have seen how we can procure more smartly and worked with our customers in order to see how we can come up with a solution to smartly procure electricity or any of the utility OPEXs. So there is reduce, there is produce, there is procure, and finally when we have done any one or all 3 of these domains, we have to continuously come up with more and more solutions which can be then brought in through data-driven optimization. So what we mean by data-driven optimization is, if you go for any of these 3 portfolios, you would see that we would be connecting your facility on a cloud or on a sensor, or some kind of data analytics can be done, which can then further on a continuous basis, Siemens team can assist you in order to further optimize your facilities. So today, keeping the interest of time, we will look at reduce and data-driven optimization as a focus, right? So when we talk about reduce, we have many solutions in our portfolio, but one of the key solutions that we want to talk to you about is demand flow. And demand flow is basically a solution which is catered and custom made for a water-cooled chiller plant. It's a patented technology by Siemens, which is on the lines of automation and algorithm. And we saw most of you guys answered that chiller plant is your major source of energy reduction as well. So let's look at this particular solution. So this solution was basically developed by us, where we were talking to a lot of clients and we were checking as to what are their pain points, and just like you, chiller plant came out to be the number 1, and it's obviously the biggest energy guzzler in any building. So we decided to build an algorithm around it, right? And when we were building an algorithm around it, some of the challenges that we saw across the globe, not only in hotels but in any vertical segment, we saw these particular challenges were common in all throughout, right? So just let's look at those challenges and then see how demand flow addresses those challenges, right? One of the biggest challenges we saw was that the chiller plants were not operating at the right delta T splits, right? We went and asked a lot of customers exactly what are their pain points, where do they think they can improve. And of course, one of the things that we saw in the chiller logs and stuff was also that the delta T's are far lesser than what was designed to be. Why was that the case? Let's see, we have a bypass usually in our chiller plant if it's a primary secondary system. We observed that there was a lot of water mixing happening because of that, and due to bypass, when a lot of return water is mixing with the fresh water, your delta T is reducing drastically, which directly impacts to the deliverable tonnage of your chillers, because tonnage is GPM into delta T into K. So if delta T reduces drastically, your GPM is fixed because primary pump flows are always fixed. The deliverable tonnage at the end comes down and you are still supplying the same electricity. You might also end up running another chiller in peak summer time because you want to, your chillers are not delivering what they are supposed to, what you've planned, right? This can happen in a primary only system as well, because the bypass might happen in the 3-way walls on the AHU sides. So excessive bypass is definitely a challenge, because of which the low delta T's can happen. Also, the total energy performance was not fully measured. We checked a lot of facilities we saw, and this is a common pattern. We all know that we procure the chillers from a particular OEM, the pumps from a different OEM, cooling towers from a different OEM. There's a consultant who designs, there's a turnkey contractor who puts all this together, and then the onus of operating and maintaining it comes on us as a target, right? So when we have to plan some energy efficiency initiatives, we usually go to the chiller guy, but the chiller guy can save energy only from the chiller. If you go to the cooling tower team, you can save energy only from the cooling tower. But what happens essentially is that if you are saving energy from one component, because it's a closed loop, energy only gets transferred from that component to another. So the overall consumption of the chiller plant, you may not see the impact that you were looking for, right? And also that leads to not being able to measure what is the efficiency today. Today, not many chiller plants. I have myself reviewed or audited more than 200 plants in India itself, and I feel that most of us, we don't know how to calculate the energy efficiency of our plant as a whole. We can tell the efficiencies of chiller or pump or cooling tower as an individual, but as a whole, as a single identity, because it's a closed loop, we have to look at it as a single identity. We don't know what is the consumption, we don't know what is the efficiency. So unless until we don't know the efficiency, we don't know where to go, right? We need to know what's our starting point. Continuous full speed operation. Other than the secondary pumps, I have seen primary pumps, condenser pumps, cooling towers usually are working on a fixed speed irrespective of what the load is. And finally, our chiller plants, which are designed to cater with a lot of design, I would say safety margins built in to operate at full load conditions, but only 5% of the time our chiller plants are actually exposed to that kind of a load. 95% of the time they are forced to run at low load or partial load conditions, but our chiller plants unfortunately are not smart enough to react or adapt to that kind of a design or that kind of a requirement. They've just been designed to operate at full load, and that's what they do all the time irrespective of the load being partial. So when we thought these are the 5 challenges, we wanted to build a solution around it. We wanted to see how, as an automation company, we can cater to these challenges that we are plagued with globally can be addressed. So in comes demand flow, right? So what is demand flow? Demand flow is an amalgamation of hardware and software, right? So when I talk about hardware, I have field devices. I have over 50 temperature transmitters or differential pressure transmitters, valves, actuators, which will be spread across your chiller plant. Now these are like the soldiers who are collecting data from the chiller plant and reporting to a particular brain, right? So all these guys, the field devices, the soldiers, would be then picking up data real time. These are industrial grade, and they will be giving an input to a processor and a memory device, which is basically going to be a controller, and an output has to be generated. Now this particular domain is basically the brain of the system. The brain of the system calculates this from the load side and from the chiller plant sides, immediately decides what should be the speed of each component that is running, and then with the help of VFDs, we will control each and every equipment in such a way that it is working exactly the amount that it requires to be worked at, right? So we will have VFDs on primary, condenser, cooling towers, secondary, all of them. Sometimes we have also replaced chillers in some of the projects with VFD on them. And with the help of this automation, we are able to balance and maintain the flow in such a way that our algorithm ensures that each and every pump, every chiller is made to run at its maximum efficiency point. So because of that, what happens? Let's go back to our challenges now. When we saw the first challenge was the delta T split, right? Now because the primary and the secondary are being governed by the same algorithm, the balance is done in such a way that there is absolutely no bypass water mixing. Right? Because of that, the low delta T syndrome is the first point which gets addressed. Now your chiller is talking to your primary is talking to your secondaries, condensers, cooling towers. Your entire chiller plant is now having a brain of its own and is able to think how to react to these low load conditions and manage flow in such a way that your primary and secondary sides are now in sync with absolutely no water mixing on the bypass. Right? So your low delta T syndrome gets addressed. Because of that, obviously your deliverable tonnage increases because now the delta T's have got widened and now they are moving towards design conditions. We are also able to see, remember the equation, tonnage, GPM, delta T and K. We are also able to see the GPM. We are able to control the GPM now because we have VFDs on primary. So we are able to balance the equation in such a way that we get the maximum deliverable tonnage from the chillers. Now because of all this automation, sensors across the plant, I can tell you the efficiency of your chiller plant every second of the day. Some of the MARRIOTT hotels that we have done, some of the other hotels that we have done, you can see initially we did not know what the efficiency of the chiller plant was, and now we are able to tell the efficiency every second, right? It keeps moving, 0.7, 0.71, 0.72. So it's great data, it's so much insight that then helps us take more intuitive decisions. Now, of course, because there's no continuous operation of my chiller plant, there's less wear and tear, which then improves the performance of your pumps, the life of your pumps. And now your chiller plants are no more operating at peak design conditions. They are now smarter, they're able to think for themselves, and they're now more intelligently operating on low load conditions. You get additional benefits, which is in the form of indoor comfort, which is improved because of better heat exchange, because of flow control, and of course data transparency. We'll get to that as to how it is helping us. Now, the overall impact of demand flow is in terms that we are able to save energy from each and every component, unlike going to only the chiller or only the pump and trying to save energy from only that. So that's reduce. Next is data-driven services, which happens through Navigator. In the interest of time, we'll have to skip an activity, but I'll quickly walk you through what the Navigator is, right? So Navigator, again, is a cloud-based or IoT-based data analytics platform, wherein we are able to connect anything that can talk to a BMS, anything which is RS-485 can talk to a BMS, and the data is going to cloud through internet. You can do it for multiple properties as well. From that, we are able to then analyze that data. We have experts sitting at Calva who are BEE and data analytics experts, who are then able to analyze and find out more efficiency and more opportunities for energy saving, which is when Siemens comes in and then provides you a more continuous optimization, right? I have a small video which talks about that, but I think we can connect on that later. We also had an activity, but we will probably discuss that. This is basically an activity which we had done in Calva. We were going to have a discussion on that, but as to how the power of data is actually helping us save more energy, right? And this was a live case study back in one of our factories that we had done. In a nutshell, we are able to currently what we have done in the space of data-driven analytics is we have more than 400 million data values collected and analyzed each day, which means that there are so many data points spread across so many buildings of our customers. They're all being connected to cloud and brought into our facility in Calva, which are enabling us to run more smarter data-driven services. And in that process, we have ended up saving 521 million tons of CO2 for Siemens customers. And this is actually happening as we speak. These are numbers that are absolutely true. In fact, probably a little outdated because we are doing it on a continuous basis. Finally, I would like to wrap it up. There are so many solutions, but one of the solutions that I wanted to mainly focus on is an IoT-based solution that we have recently come up with. This is probably the most recent offering by Siemens, which is called Enlighted. It's basically this sensor, okay? This is an IoT-based sensor. You don't have to do any wiring, any connection. This just goes and sits strategically in your premise, let's say in your ballroom, and it is able to do 5 things. It has Bluetooth. It is able to sense motion, so it can actually tell how many people are in which part of the room. It can sense the temperature. It can sense the lighting, lux levels, and also power in terms of HVAC. So just this one sensor can do all these things, and it can talk to your lighting and regulate lighting based on your requirement and also HVAC. I had another video, but we don't have time. Yeah. Okay, I think we can show it a little later. This is basically an Enlighted video, but then planned for later. Enlighted basically has an impact on lighting, air, that is HVAC. You can also do space. Most of our clients are using Enlighted to optimize space much better. Where, as in they want to track their employees, that's also done through Enlighted, and a bunch of other services. Overall, the portfolio of Siemens in the terms of energy and sustainability is vast. Like you can see, there are names like on the supply side, we have solar, or we have wind, we have even thermal storage, geothermal heat pumps, and on the utility side, we have, or demand side, we can do chillers, we can do heating systems, lighting, you name it, right? And each solution, there's no particular product actually. These solutions which can differ from one hotel to another. A hotel of MARRIOTT can have, in Mumbai can have a different solution than in one in Hyderabad, and all these would be co-created with you. All these solutions are developed by data that has been collected from your facility, and we spend at least 3 to 4 months time to co-create these solutions with you. And the possibilities and the portfolio is basically endless. There are so many things that we have done in the past, and we want to continue doing it. There is no such limitation as to what can be done or what cannot be done. Anything that can help you achieve your KPIs in terms of reducing the energy is what we have. And all that is capped under the umbrella of BEAAS.
Sir, I'll take 2
So
minutes.
we have seen the technology part as to what can be done. Now I'd like to call upon my colleague Ayaz, who will talk about what is BEAAS and how all these technologies integrated together. Over to
So
you.
good afternoon, everybody. In the interest of time, I'll just quickly wrap up within 3 minutes. BEAAS. So as you know that what we have seen, that technically convincing anybody for an engineer has become very simple. We have formulas in place and it is very easy to convince anybody technically. So be it a DOE, technical director, it is very easy. But any implementation in the energy efficiency domain, when we have to convince somebody who is going to take the financial decision, there we face challenge. And many a times it happens that despite we having an urge to go for high investment to set up something right, we have to compromise on some small facility improvement measures like putting a VFD, changing motor to the IE4 motors kind of a thing because of the budget constraint. And that is why the Siemens has come up with this concept of BEAAS, wherein the savings, the payment of all the investments are done out of the savings. So ESCO model, which is very commonly known in the market, but here the difference is that the Siemens is responsible for the life cycle of the entire implementation right from the beginning. So there is no upfront investment by the client. So conventionally what has been there, that there is a customer financing upfront payment of the any implementation which we are doing. Then we moved to the deferred payment, and then came the BEAS, wherein the client does not have to do any upfront payment. Complete investment would be done by the Siemens, and the Siemens will get the services charges out of the savings which is getting achieved. So lot of cost reduction goals, efficiency increase, asset value performance, risk can be transferred to the Siemens, and with the combined total solution we can reduce the OPEX and we can optimize the CAPEX utilization. Thereby this BEAS also has got another advantage, I would say, that there are certain facility improvement measures which has got 1 year ROI. There are certain facility improvement measure which has got 2 year ROI. Many a times it happens that something which is more than 4 or 5 years, we try to ignore them, be it solar, renewable or heat recovery domain. What happens? A BEAS solution wherein we do the holistic analysis of the entire facility, and all these FIMs can be combined, which creates a larger CAPEX which can be upfront invested by the Siemens, and FIMs that you could have ignored because of the high capital expenditure can also be enrobed into this program. So a very simple structure wherein there is it could be an operating lease structure, it could be a finance lease structure, it could be a loan basis. So model can be created depending upon the requirement of the client, and then we can sit with the CFOs and the commercial guys of the organization and can structure a BEAS model, wherein let us say if the baseline consumption is 200 in terms of basis points, and if the services fees is 80, then 20 is kept by the, if I am reducing the consumption by 20, then complete 100 reduction, 20 can be 80 can be given to the Siemens and 20 can be shared by the client. If there is a shortfall in the savings which has been committed by the Siemens, that can be paid back to the customer in the form of the I would say the commitment charges, or if there is an excess saving, then it can be shared on the 50% basis. So that is what the BEAS model which we are talking about. We have a counter there, we can discuss in detail. Because of the shortage of the time, we will just conclude it here. Thank you so much. We have so many case studies that we can discuss, because this model has been already tried at the Hyatt Regency Mumbai Hotel, wherein the client has opted for BEAS, wherein they are paying the EMI out of the savings which we are generating with the demand flow solution there. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ayaz and Amal. It was very informative. Thank you so much. Yes, Eleanor. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, yeah. Team, yeah. Next session is by Eleanor. No introduction is required from her about mesh, and those who have questions can reserve the question till the end of the program. Thank you. You can proceed, Eleanor.
Thank you. Hello everyone. It is a real pleasure to be able to talk to you about mesh today. I am sure you have a lot of questions on this. Hopefully we Raj, Sajid, are you
Yes,
able to hear clearly?
yes, very clear, Eleanor.
Perfect. Perfect. And you are able to see my screen, yes?
Yes.
Perfect. Wonderful. All right, so my name is Eleanor, and I sit in the Hong Kong regional office. In the next half an hour, I will go through what is mesh and why we use it, what do we need to do with mesh, how can we check our data, and who to contact if we find errors in our data. Finally, I'd like to share some good practices, and of course, there will be a Q&A session. It is a real QR code.
Team, please switch on your mobile and you can scan this.
So basically, this is what it looks like when you scan the QR code. It will get you to a link. And when you arrive that link, it's basically a way for you to ask me questions. I want all of you to send me any questions you have along the way, and I will address them. All you need to do is scan the QR code, type in your question where the red arrow is, that's this little box here, and then you can submit. You can also enter multiple questions. So once you submit one question, click on submit and other response, so this green arrow, and it will bring you back to the questions page. Are you all ready?
Just give us 2 minutes, Eleanor. They are scanning. Give us 2 minutes.
Okay. Sure, absolutely. This question is anonymous, so you can just send in
Eleanor, Raj here. Eleanor, just 1 minute.
Yes.
Team, if anybody needs help, just come in front of the screen. Who needs help, please come here, no problem. We might take 1 minute, but it's worth doing it.
Yes, we want this to be interactive, so just scan the QR code and fire your question towards me.
You got, team, you got the page where she is showing? It's all happening. Do you have scan? Not, oh yeah, see that coming on top. Okay, anybody come front, it will immediately capture. You will get a pop-up on top.
You can also send me a test question and I can
Just Safari.
If you wanted to do a trial,
Got it?
send me something like hello or hi. You can do a test run and see if I can get your questions or your comments. Feel free to do that.
Okay. Okay, good team. Let's go back and settle. If some of you cannot scan this, you can always ask the questions over microphone, no problem. We can get back to our places. Okay, Eleanor, you can continue, please.
Mesh is Marriott's global utility platform. So apart from India or Asia Pacific, all our hotels around the world use Mesh. And it's very useful because all of our information, all our data are centralized in one platform. This allows our global or regional sales team to pick out information for proposals. For example, if a customer is very environmentally conscious, the sales team can simply pull out any data from Mesh and put it in the proposal. So they can put in what the carbon footprint is for a particular brand, or for a hotel that has done really well and have green certificates, they can make good pitches in marketing. Mesh also increase our data accuracy and integrity because we need to validate the numbers using your invoices, and this gives us, our stakeholders, a much higher degree of confidence in what we report. So we have something to fall back on. So in the old XLP days, we simply rely on our meter recording, but we don't have an official document to back this up. With Mesh, we have that. And lastly, Mesh helps us track our performance against our global SAEC 360 goals. Here's a reminder of what our Asia Pacific goals are. So with all our information in Mesh, we can easily monitor our progress against the target. Now that you know why we need Mesh, we can go through what we need to do. Our process is very, very simple. 3 very easy steps. The first, input your data manually each month. Second one, submit your bills once you've received them. Third one is fill in the SRO tracker, which is really a survey. I am not going to go through all these steps in details today because we only have half an hour. But if you would like to go in depth with any of these steps or all of them, please feel free to drop me an email, and I'm always happy to arrange another Skype or with you and to go through each and every single step. So, let's review this step by step. Step 1, we go to data entry and tracking, and we enter our own meter recording by the 7th of each month. So this is the meter recording by your hotel done by you or your team. We are not looking for invoices here. Of course, if you have already received your invoice by the 7th, please feel free to use that. Great information, right? But if you don't have the bill by the 7th, which most of us don't, that's okay. We enter our own meter recording. So this includes all our energy, water, and waste consumptions. And don't forget your condition space. So this is particularly important for new hotels. Most of you already have the air conditioned space filled in for you, but if you are a newly opened hotel, please share your condition space in square meter with me, and I'll input that data right for you. A few reminders regarding this step. Number 1, when you enter the data, please just be so careful with the units. The wrong unit can change everything. We've actually had a case where the unit increased the consumption so much that it completely messed up all of the Asia Pacific numbers. So just be very careful of the unit. Here you see diesel is by default in gallons, which most of you are using liters, so you might want to be careful when you enter that. And of course, don't forget your condition space, especially for newly opened hotels. And in India, we commonly use borewell water, right? And for borewell water, please enter your consumptions under the category groundwater. For city or municipal water, we can enter the water consumption under the category called water. So let's be consistent and keep things simple so we all use water and not another category which is water municipal. don't really need to do much until you receive your invoices or your bills. So once you get them, just simply submit them through the mesh portal for data validation. This process will allow you to validate the data and give our data a much higher accuracy and integrity level. And it will basically override your manual input. You ask, what if my bills don't match my actual consumption? So for example, if you are a complex property and you share your bill with your owner, you will need to use this invoice summary, which is this green form you are seeing to the left. We talked about data integrity, and Mesh relies on official bills and invoices to validate your data. So if your bill's data don't actually reflect your actual consumption, you need to fill in this official form to tell Mesh, hey, the information in my bill is for the whole complex. And for our hotel part, we only use, say, 65% and state your consumption clearly. You can also use this form if you top up your diesel every few months and your bills and your monthly consumption don't align. Right, so we're at the final step, and this is to complete the SRO tracker. This is basically a survey or a questionnaire on your environmental initiatives. So please share all your good practices with us. We want to know how well you're doing. We want to be able to let other people know how well you're doing. If you have obtained a free certificate, please upload it here so that we know about it and the sales team can leverage these excellent certificates in their sales or media pitches. The SRO tracker is also a part of the BSA. So apart from having data in Mesh, you also need to complete this to get all 4 points. Once you have started working on the SRO tracker, you will be able to see the completion percentage. So let me just give you an example. So here, you will see the Mesh dashboard, and if you click on SR Home, it will take you to your own questionnaire. Every hotel has the same question, but make sure you are filling in for your own hotel. So this hotel has completed the SRO tracker, so you will be able to see 100%. Let's just wait for Mesh to load. Right, so you see it here, 100%. If you haven't done anything, or you haven't started the SRO tracker, you will not be able to see anything, and it will look blank. This is how it looks like when it's blank. So just now you see 100%, but now you don't see anything. So let's just pick another hotel. So this hotel hasn't completely finished the SRO percentage. So you will see that the questions are not completely filled in and the percentage is lower. So in order to meet the BSA, you will need to get 90% plus. So here you can see that this hotel is very, very close. They are 87.9%, but they just maybe need to fill in a couple more questions to reach that 90% threshold. Alright, so let's go back to the PowerPoint. This is now how, after you entered your numbers and you validated them and you submitted your bills, how can we check our data? We can make use of a function in Mesh, which is the variance report. Here I'd like to show you a live demo. So I just wanted to let you know that once you've inputted your numbers, you have to wait at least 24 hours just for the system to refresh and restart to be able to calculate your numbers. So you search intensity, you would see a bunch of numbers, and the most common ones that are, in my opinion, more beneficial for all of you are the total energy intensity and the water intensity per occupied room. So let's go through energy intensity for now. Click on energy intensity and then apply filter. And then when you scroll a little bit down here, you will actually see all the numbers that you have so far. And you can tell that, oh, this hotel is doing quite well. They have inputted their mesh data, so there's information here in April. The numbers look alright, they look decent. So this is okay, and this allows you to compare month on month, and it's very easy to spot anything that's out of place. So let me just give you an example. So for this hotel, you see what is maybe a little bit off. Now, here you see that there is probably something wrong with the data. In January 2018, the number is 13.32. But if you look at January 2019, this is just below 4. And the decrease is over 17%. If you switch to your main source of energy from coal fire, say, to renewable energy, you may get a significant reduction like this, but what troubles me is there is data for the future. If we look at May all the way to December, you are seeing the 0.02, which is probably a mistake, right? So you can basically tell if your data makes sense by looking at this variance, and once you spot something that's a little bit off, you can go back to your data entry and tracking page to check on your raw data. So manage data entry and tracking. Now let's go to year 2019. Here you see, this hotel is doing quite good, right? The finish page is clean, it's easy to read, it's neat. But there's a problem because you are seeing invoice data from May to December. So this could be an error by Site Electric, or maybe the hotel has sent them data in a way that Site Electric doesn't. And we also want to take a look at this number. The moment you see it, this looks really low, right? And if you compare with 2018, so this is 3,000 something, this is 110,000. These data make much more sense. And back to 2019, you can very quickly tell that there is probably something wrong with the electric power data. So this is a very easy way to just quickly tell if there is something wrong in your mesh account. So mesh is a very useful tool, but I'm sure we all agree that we need to understand how to use it and make sure we are inputting good information in the system. If we put in quality data, we are going to get a quality report and everybody's life is going to be easier. If our data is not as good, we have to waste a lot of time trying to fix it. So this table is a little tip for you on our monthly intensity values for India. So this is for reference only. If your intensity values are way outside of these ranges, you may want to triple check your raw data. For example, if you have an energy intensity value of 1,000, there is probably something very wrong right there when you're comparing it against something that's in the 20s, right? These are not absolute values you must obtain, but they are a good indicator and they provide a ballpark reference as to whether your energy or your water intensity data are accurate. We need to understand our numbers before we can criticize our performance, right? So if our energy intensity is a lot lower than this, maybe there's a mistake somewhere. what should we do if we check the data and we find out that the data in mesh is wrong? Well, we need to contact mesh support. So please, everyone, I hope you can make note of this email address here. I know many of you love to contact me and I really enjoy interacting with all of you. But please, I am not mesh support, and as much as I'd love to, I am actually unable to unlock these errors for you. This is because for data integrity and auditing purposes, this step has to be done by a third party, which is Snyder-Electric. So if I were able to change the data for you, that would defeat the purpose. When you realize there's a mistake, please email mesh support, which is this email address here, and you can use this table format so that it is very, very clear what is wrong. We can never assume mesh support will go and find out what is wrong for us. We have to tell them specifically what is wrong and what we need them to do for us. For example, if I email mesh support and say, hi, my January electricity data is wrong, the right number should be, say, 240,000 kilowatt hours. I'm sorry, but this is not clear, right? Especially if your bill is saying 300,000 kilowatt hours, mesh will trust the information stated in the bill rather than what you're telling them. So what we should do is fill in this table, and we can state specifically, or we share the bill with our owner, so even though the bill consumption is saying 300,000 kilowatt hours, the hotel's consumption is actually only 240,000 kilowatt hours. The remaining kilowatt hours belong to the owner. This is a lot more specific, and it allows the team to quickly identify what's wrong and fix the error for you. So another example can be, the mesh team has entered my invoices twice until the number is doubled. Can you please help me remove the duplicated numbers? So again, this is much better than saying, hi, this number is wrong, please correct to an X amount number. So when we fill in this table, we must fill in all the items, and this actually helps mesh support to pinpoint which data is wrong and speeds up the correction process. Again, I'm not going to go through this in complete detail, but if you need more support on how to correct your data, please feel free to drop me an email and I can go through that with you. Okay, so now I wanted to share some good practices. Let's take a look at these two mesh accounts. There's one to the left and one to the right. The left one is neat and tidy, and you can see all the data in one page. Very nice, right? It's easy, very, very direct, and very simple to address anything that's out of the ordinary. The one to the right is a big, huge mess. There are so many categories, it is really hard to find where is the information, where is the data, it's hard to compare, and it's hard to check. So what we want to do is to see mesh and not mess, alright? So there's a very quick way to change from mess to mesh. Unfortunately, only you guys have the access right to do this, so I'm not able to give you a live demo today. So please bear with me, I'm going to show you the steps here one by one. So when you get to your data entry and tracking page, you see this data entry configuration to the right top corner. You click on it, and basically it will take you to this page, and then you can click edit, which is right next to your hotel name. So for this case, the hotel is MARRIOTT. Once you click edit, you will get to this page where you can quickly update the data streams and which you are keeping track of and which you're not. So for example, electricity, diesel, water, you're keeping track, then you can say you are tracked. The ones that you're not keeping track, you can change to not tracked. But make sure you choose a date before 2016, 2016, otherwise this is not going to work. And remember earlier I mentioned that we we open up for questions. So here's the QR code again. If you have any questions, please type it and send them to me. I'll do my best to go through all of them today. But since we have a time limit, and I've heard you have a very nice lunch after this, so I don't want to keep you too long. I can gather all your questions and answer them and share with Raj if we couldn't go through them all today. So please feel free to fire your questions. I don't have a lot of responses. Just give me 1 second, I'll answer them. Okay, I'm just going to go through them one by one. So one of the questions is saying, I am not getting the percentage which needs to be provided by Smartsheet. Okay, so the percentage is basically coming from the variance report. Let me just go back to here. So, for example, because you're in May now, you would want to pick report for 4 months. And period starting January, this will never change. But the 1, 2, 3, 4 here, you would want to change, alright? So now that we're in May, the year to date for April, say this is 87%. This will be the variance you are looking for. There are a number of reasons if you are not able to see this. The first one is, you have to wait at least 24 hours because Mesh actually updates the system at midnight US time. So anything you enter after that midnight time zone, it is not getting updated until the next refresh time. So any timeline in between, unfortunately, Mesh will not be able to calculate the numbers. So after you wait 24 hours when the date has been refreshed, Mesh will be able to calculate this for you, and it's very convenient. Another reason why you're not seeing this is sometimes you just have to go to the site, put in your hotel name, just search the site, by easiest it's MARRIOTT, and then click apply filter, and here you would have a different screen from me, just a slightly different one. You would have a number of tabs here. So the first one I believe is set clients, and then there's something else, and then there's sites. Make sure you click on the tab where it says site, and you will be able to see your numbers. Now, Mesh does take some time, and agree the time is quite long. What you can do is please contact Mesh support first, and after 3 to 4 weeks, if you're not getting a response, then you can send me an email, and I can escalate it for you. There are local contacts in India, but they are working on a sort of a different timeline, so it's hard for you to just contact them. The best way to get this done is, number 1, make sure all the data that you are submitting is correct, so we don't waste time fixing it afterwards. Number 2 is, if there is something wrong, please make it very clear in the email. So make sure you use this table, because a lot of the time I'm seeing messages like, hi, this data is wrong, please correct to another number. This is not helpful, I'm afraid, because Mesh, like I said, they need to have validation, that is data integrity, and they can't simply change your numbers because you say so. Of course they believe you, but since everything is based on your invoice, if your number does not match your invoice, you have to explain it, and it has to be an official format, so that when this gets audited, you're not going to get in trouble. Now, once those few things are clear, it should speed up the process. And if still the process is too slow, please wait 3 to 4 weeks. If no response, then email me and I'll escalate it to you. Right, so another one is, I could not find natural gas in the data sheet. So I'm not sure what you mean by you couldn't find natural gas. data, right? So let me just quickly go to 2019. So what this hotel is doing is very neat, very, very good match example. What they've done here is they've manually entered the number. So you can see that there's no blue arrow yet because the bills probably haven't arrived yet. So one, if you've entered this for multiple months and you realize you forgot to submit your bills, what you can do is just simply submit them. And to submit your bills, you go back to data via match dashboard. You can always go back and submit, but please be careful and only submit once. If you submit more than one, what will happen is Mesh will think that you have multiple invoices and your numbers will be duplicated or it will be triple or quadruple. Alright, so make sure you only submit once. And you can submit any time you want. There isn't any deadline for invoice submission because each hotel receives the invoice at a different time. What we mandate is by the 7th, you've entered your own meter recording, your own data recording information. So when you get your invoice, come to this dashboard page, click on submit invoices. You can drag your invoice into here. Make sure you have searched your own hotel. So if you're in this hotel, for example, I am Courtyard Airport, then I put in my master code, search my hotel, drop my invoices in here, and I put in, say, this is May electricity bill. May 2019 electricity bill, and then I submit. That's all you have to do. So even if you've missed it in the past, you can always come back here and submit. There is no timeline or deadline. We just ask that you do submit because if there are no invoices, at the end of the year, when your hotel gets audited and there are no invoices and you get picked, it will be a very painful process to take out all the past things. Another question is, how shall we edit the 2018 data? So go back to data entry. For example, for this hotel. Now, if you see anything with the blue arrow, you would have to contact Mesh support because this means that the cells are locked. So if I click in here, I cannot edit anything. You know, I'm trying to type, I couldn't do anything. However, if you have entered the data yourself and you don't see any blue arrows, you are able to adjust this number. So if you have not submitted your bills, you can just go in and change the data. If your cell is locked, please contact Mesh support. If you pay for the tanker water, please add it under the city water, which is water. Alright, I know in Mesh there are a number of categories, water municipal, water groundwater. That's all simple and consistent. So anything that city water, municipal water, things that you pay for, put it under water. This hotel doesn't have that, so they only have groundwater. The groundwater is for all well water. Another very good question is, in my dashboard, it's showing the dates varying time to time. Why? Good question. The hotel here to show you. And Raj and Sajid, if it's time's up, please let me know. I can always gather these questions and send them to you so I don't overrun into your lunchtime.
Yeah, we can spend some more time, maybe another 5 minutes or even 5 to 7 minutes. No problem, Eleanor. And following your session, Mav is in the call already, and Mav want to say hello to all the engineers. We'll do that after your quick Q&A.
you might see up to 29, maybe 30. But if you are at 70 or 180, there is something probably wrong with some of the data. Calculation to find out intensity, yes. Back to the variance report, you will be able to see your intensity. So if you search intensity, water or energy, this number here in each month, that is your intensity value. And you can compare that with the numbers you see here to have a couple of benchmarking. Alright, right, I think we're fine with it. Do you want to pull on in? Say a message?
Yeah, Eleanor,
Yeah.
can you repeat, please?
Okay. How about I end the session so we can have Mao say a message to everyone? There are still a number of questions, but they are.
Yeah, I think the remaining questions we can make a reply and then we will put it on the mobile app so that they can download the the corresponding answers to the question. So that should be fine, Eleanor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Eleanor, for the great session. And please stay in the call because now Mao is logging in into the same call. Mao, are you online? Yes, we can. Yes. We can hear you clearly, Mao.
I've given you the control now.
Mao, or you want to send a fresh Skype link? We can join that call immediately. We can log out from this. Yeah. I suggest you send a link now and we will join into that link. So straight away you will be the host in that. Okay, sure. Yeah, Mao. Yeah. Thank you, and definitely, yes, yes, we could hear. Yes, I think now your screen is fully available for us. So yeah, thank you, Mao, for that, and we are very much looking forward to see you during the next visit. And we will send all the pictures, and you can already see many of the pictures in the mobile app. So you can, yeah, you can keep enjoying from the mobile app pictures. Thank you, Mao. Your voice is sometimes breaking. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Mao. Yeah, now we could see your video finally. Okay, good. Okay, team. I think time for lunch. Little longer session for you all. It got extended. So let's break for lunch now, and then we have a couple of sessions after lunch. That's not going to be very long like this morning, I believe. We will wind up by 4. Thank you. Break for lunch. Thank you.